And welcome back to Milford High School. We are set for kickoff between the Holy Name Naps and the Milford Scarlet Hawks. Tom Nappy, Jared Aldi. And there are some names on that injury report. John Hearns inactive for the Milford Scarlet Hawks, so he will not be starting at quarterback today for the Scarlet Hawks. And also Luke Norris, a sophomore wide receiver / defensive back, will not be active as well for today's game. And also another inactive player, Earl Bassett, will not be active, the junior tight end / linebacker. Those are the inactives for the Milford Scarlet Hawks, as the Milford Scarlet Hawks are set to kick it away, and they will be kicking left to right across your radio on a beautiful, sunny, 30-degree Thanksgiving. It's beautiful and sunny, but it is cold.
Absolutely freezing.
And there is some wind out there as well, and we are set for kickoff from Milford High School, and here we go. It's an end-over-end kick, and it'll sail to around the 21-yard line and be returned up the middle to about the 37 or so, and that's where the Holy Name Naps will start this Thanksgiving game. And the Thanksgiving games are at 11 minutes now, and if you remember, they used to be at 10 minutes, but with the new playoff system, the Thanksgiving games now back to 11 minutes. So the Holy Name Naps set to start at the 37-yard line, as they will line it up with quarterback on center, and you can expect a lot of run plays from the Holy Name Naps. Man in motion from left to right, taking the snap in, running it up the near side. It's Jeff Holland, and that will be good for about 4 or 5 yards. You go.
I was just going to say, it looks like Trent Dubois is your starting quarterback for Holy Name.
He indeed is. Trent Dubois, the sophomore, standing at 5'9", 150, will get the start.
So we have a sophomore battle at quarterback, Dubois and Zach Lanzetta in for the injured John Hearns.
Very good point. Getting the young quarterbacks in as Dubois takes the snap, and it's going to be a handoff taken up the middle. That's going to be good for a first down and a little bit more, as Jose Barbosa, the junior, will take it past midfield to about the 48-yard line. And that's about a 6-yard pickup for Barbosa. His Holy Name moving the chains early on in this game. We are at the start of a brand new Thanksgiving rivalry between the Holy Name Naps and the Milford Scarlet Hawks, as the Naps line it up once again with Dubois on center, motion from left to right, a receiver spread out to the left side, and it's going to be a pitch to the motion man, taken up the right side of the field. It's Joe Keiko on the carry.
Dubois' toss back to Keiko was a little bit low for him. Or he may have having trouble with the cold already.
It's a 1-yard pickup, 2nd down and 9. Cold could certainly be a factor in this game, and we'll certainly have to watch it, but Holy Name, typically a run team, so that typically does help a little bit in the cold. As Dubois lines it up on center. Motion man is the man in the left slot, will take it over to the right side, and he'll get the carry, and he'll break free at the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and into the end zone, and it is a touchdown for the Holy Name Naps. Jose Barbosa, a 47-yard touchdown run, and Holy Name up early. And that is perhaps the best way you could start off the game if you're Holy Name. Get the momentum rolling in your favor early, and they're up 6-0 as Jose Barbosa breaks free for the 47-yard touchdown run. Holy Name going to line it up to go for 2 here. Quarterback on center, motion from right to left, handoff to the motion man, and he got in. Jeff Holland adding the 2 points, and it's 8-0. Holy Name on top early, and Milford will have their work cut out for them in this game. A 1-minute and 56-second drive downfield for the Naps. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Milford High School Football on WMRC First Class Radio, streaming online at WMRCDailyNews.com. Welcome back to Milford High School. The Holy Name Naps set to kick off right to left across your radio after a 47-yard touchdown run by Jose Barbosa to put Holy Name up early, 8-0, as they added the 2-point conversion with a handoff to Jeff Holland, and they are set to kick it away as it is a grounding kick, rolls to the 35, and it will be returned to about the 45. So the kick kept on the ground for the Holy Name Naps, and the Scarlet Hawks will start off with pretty good field position to start this game off. Jared, a rough start for the Milford Scarlet Hawks on that last series of plays. He left a wide open gap open in the middle, and Barbosa was able to break free. And the Scarlet Hawks, they've been typically pretty good at stopping the run. What adjustments do you feel need to be made? Well,
they need to plug up that gap in the middle there. Holy Name really exploited them off to the right-hand side, many plays, and just had Milford fooled on that run.
Zach Lanzetta on center takes a snap. It's a screen to the left side, and it's a fumble as it is complete to his target, Pete Schuler.
Looks like Holy Name may have it.
And the Naps recover. So how about that? You try to get a couple yards on your first play of the game. Schuler fumbles, and the Holy Name Naps have the football once again with very good field position, as it will be marked down at the 48-yard line. Holy Name will move right to left across your radio on their second offensive drive after a Milford fumble. And hopefully Milford can work out these kinks, as Holy Name with an opportunity here to really take advantage of a couple costly mistakes. Motion from left to right as Dubois takes the snap, and it's going to be a handoff taken to around the 45-yard line.
And Holy Name's going to challenge Milford's defense here on the run still. You know, you're going to milk a lot of time off the clock here. You already have an 8-0 lead. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a two-possession game off the bat, less than 2 minutes into the game.
2-yard gain on that last play. 2nd and 8 for the Naps at the 46-yard line. As Dubois on center, motion from right to left, and it's a pitch to the motion man, who's going to sweep up the left side, eludes one tackler, eludes another, still on his feet, and he's brought down at around the 30. We'll see where they mark this, but it is going to be good for a Holy Name first down, and they will mark this at the 33-yard line. So the Naps having no trouble moving the football. So that was another 14-yard pickup for Holy Name. Dubois comes back out with the offense on center once again. Two receivers spread out to the right, and they're going to run this one again up the middle. It's Barbosa, and he's going to be dragged down at the 15. And that is another first down, around the 20-yard line he was brought down. That is a 13-yard pickup.
Jose Barbosa already established himself as the enemy of Milford's defense right now, as he's just tearing that defense up right now, right up the middle pretty much.
He most certainly is.
His second and third efforts too to gain more yardage as well.
Already 82 yards rushing for Barbosa. As Dubois on center, two receivers spread out to the right, but it's going to be a handoff to the man in the slot. It's Jeff Holland who's going to take it up for a yard or two. And we see a lot of different run formations for the Holy Name Naps, and it seems to be messing with Milford quite a bit.
Yeah, you know, when Holy Name's going off to the right, right or left of the field here, Milford's just, they're really mixing it up very well against Milford, and they're leaving Milford guessing.
Dubois lines up on center. Two receivers spread out to the right side with a man in the slot. And they're going flex bone formation. And it's going to be a handoff sweep to the right side. But this time it does not fool the Milford defense, as Barbosa this time brought down for a loss.
Yeah, you know, Holy Name has established the run really early in the game. Of course, they are a run-oriented team. But if Milford can stop their run here and try to force some passes here, you know, it's going to give Milford a better chance here of getting getting back on offense.
Well, Holy Name, they're pretty stubborn with that run game. They love to run the football. You will not see too much passing from this Holy Name team. As Dubois back on center. Two receivers spread out to the left. Slot man in motion from left to right. Dubois takes the snap, and it's going to be a handoff to the right back, and it's going to be taken up the middle, this time for a short gain. Holland on the carry that time.
And that's going to be 4th down. So Milford has a, you might see Holy Name go to the air here or try to pin Milford back if they don't get the first down.
Gain of 5 on that last play. If you're Holy Name, though, you're deep enough where you just go for it.
Oh, absolutely here, but, I think here you'll probably see a potential passing play.
4th and 3 for the Naps. 5 minutes or so left. And it is going to be a timeout for the Holy Name Naps, and we'll keep things right here to remind you, coming up this Saturday, the Sports Bus with Matt Romling and Craig D'Alessandro. They'll recap all the Thanksgiving high school football action. They might even have a high school basketball preview. That's the Sports Buzz this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on WMRC First Class Radio. Each and every Saturday, you can hear the Sports Buzz. Back to play action as Dubois lines up on center, motion from left to right, and this one's going to be taken up the middle, and that will be good for a first down. As pushing his way forward, it's none other than Jose Barbosa, who is dominating early in this game. It's just another set of downs for Holy Name, and they're having no trouble moving this football, Jared.
No, and it's Jose Barbosa who's pretty much been the workhorse these first 2 possessions for Holy Name. And Milford is just keep getting further and further back in their own zone here. I believe this is 1st and goal.
So the Naps line it up once again. Dubois on center, 2 receivers spread out to the right, and then this time it's going to be taken up the middle. There is a flag on the play.
Number 4, Jeff Holland, ball carrier.
Holland did appear to get in the end zone, but there is a flag, and I think this one's coming back.
Yeah, and usually most of those cases there are run or could be a holding call.
There was no touchdown signal, so this one is coming back. It's going to be a hold against Holy Name. They'll be pushed back to the 9-yard line.
That's the first penalty of the game. See if this throws Holy Name off their game.
So far in the possession battle, Milford had the ball for 2 plays before they had a fumble on a screen pass to Pete Schuler. And Holy Name got the ball right back, and they've been driving downfield ever since.
In a situation like this, where it seems like Holy Name's going to be going for 2 in every scoring play that they have here, being down 16-0 in the first quarter is going to be huge for Holy Name and terrible for Milford.
Dubois lines up on center, 2 receivers spread out to the left, slot man in motion, and it is going to be taken up the middle and nearly breaking away, but being brought down in the backfield for a loss. A great defensive stand for the Scarlet Hawks. It was Jeff Holland on the carry.
Yeah, and it seems like it's going to be the 2-headed monster of Holland and Barbosa today. Holland pretty much complimenting Barbosa, and Holy Name is just keeps, with about 4 minutes to go in this quarter, it just keeps taking more time off the clock.
Loss of 1 on that last play. That'll make it 2nd and 10. Dubois back on center, 2 receivers spread out to the right. And in the slot to either side, Dubois rolls out to his right. This time he's going to pass, and it's complete. A passing touchdown, and that's Joe Keiko for the 10-yard touchdown reception.
Pass by number 10, Trent DuBois, complete to number 12, Joe Keiko for the touchdown.
And a Holy Name team that has not passed all game. They break out with the pass there. Dubois rolls out to the right and throws it right into the end zone to Keiko, and it's 14-0. And that is certainly even more momentum for Holy Name as they're able to establish a little bit of a pass game in the red zone.
Well, when you run every single play you have there, when you drop back for a pass, you're going to throw their defense off big time, and that's what happened right there.
And now for two, throw into the end zone, and it is complete. Second straight converted two-point conversion.
Trinity boys complete to Joe Keiko for the conversion. That makes you
We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Scarlet Hawks Thanksgiving Football on WMRC First Class Radio, streaming online at WMRCDailyNews.com. Back here at Milford High School, and so far the beginning of a new Thanksgiving rivalry for the Scarlet Hawks. Not going so well. Holy Name up on Milford 16-0 as they kick off right to left across your radio, a high end-over-end kick, and it'll roll out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. This will be a legal procedure by Holy Name and give Milford pretty good field position to start off their second offensive drive of the game. And Jared, we can only hope it will be better than their first, as on the second play, it ended on a fumble and Holy Name recovered and it resulted in a touchdown.
Well, you're going to have to keep away from this Holy Name offense here. They've already surprised me so far in this first quarter, and we still got 3 quarters to play. Already up 16-0. And they have done pretty much everything, dissected Milford's defense there, and Jose Barbosa has just lit it up.
And it looks like they are going to re-kick this. They're going in high school, you do have the option to start off with better field position, but instead, Holy Name is going to re-kick this, and this time they'll do it back from the 35-yard line. And once again, for Milford, it's interesting as John Hearns not active for this game. They went with the sophomore for the Scarlet Hawks, Zach Lanzetta at quarterback. So it's certainly a different scenario. Lanzetta not with a whole lot of experience under center, and perhaps playing this game without Hearns could be a factor.
Yeah, you know, when we saw Lanzetta in there, it was, you know, Hearns and Lanzetta swapping in and out, but this is pretty much Lanzetta's game today.
And this kick is a roller back to the 25-yard line, and it was fumbled by David Abrego, but he's able to recover it as he bobbled it a little bit. And they are going to mark this at the 28-yard line, so that's where the Milford Scarlet Hawks will start their second offensive drive of the game.
I'd like to point out that that last possession, scoring touchdown, Holy Name had the ball for over 5 minutes in that drive.
They certainly have burned the clock as Lanzetta on center. An offset I formation, handoff to the up back, and it's going to be taken up the middle to around the 29-yard line. That's about a 3-yard pickup.
Milford's going to have to string some first downs here together to keep Holy Name's offense off the field here.
Second down, 7.
Holy Name's defense here, you know, really hasn't had much of a challenge so far in this first quarter.
Certainly,
this is Milford's 4th play from scrimmage.
They certainly could use a good offensive drive here, and you certainly want to.
You don't want to give the ball away right now.
Establish some confidence in your offense. Establish some confidence in this game. You're down early, but still plenty of time left to go. So the Scarlet Hawks are going to take a timeout. We'll stick with you and remind you at the half we'll have the Unibank halftime show, and at this halftime, we'll talk a little bit NFL action that's going on because, as you know, Thanksgiving, a very big
football day in the NFL. Yep.
Right, for, of course, as Lanzetta takes a snap on center, throws to the left side, and he has a receiver, and it's good for a first down. And that is complete to Pete Schuler, making up for the fumble with that reception. And that's going to be a Scarlet Hawks first down as it's pushed up to the 45-yard line, a 15-yard pickup on the reception.
Pete Schuler listed at 190, 6'2". He is a junior, and he is John Hearns' favorite target. Hopefully Lanzetta can get something going with him today as well in the passing game.
Lanzetta on center, I formation with a receiver spread out to the right. It's going to be a handoff to the up back, and this is going to be good for 2 or 3 yards up the gut. As the Scarlet Hawks trying to get something going offensively, down 16-0 early in this game. Jonathan Rodriguez, the junior, on that carry.
2-yard gain on the play. Second down, 8.
Markham good for 2. We'll see what the Scarlet Hawks can do, and we saw a little bit of Zach Lanzetta earlier in the season, and he brings a little bit more to the passing game as well, and this will be another run up the gut, but there is a flag on the play. It will not fool the Holy Name defense, and just getting back to the line of scrimmage was George Chakalos, but there is a penalty somewhere.
Looked like it was going to go against Holy Name here.
And it will.
Right after, I think, yeah, right after the play. It looked like a personal foul call.
Yep, so they're going to get him for the face mask, and this is going to move the chains, and it's going to push Milford up 15 yards. A big break for the Scarlet Hawks, and this is what they need.
Personal foul. Face mask.
We'll mark it at the 42-yard line, at 38-yard line on the Naps side of the field. With 1:52 left to go, so the Scarlet Hawks with a big break there on the personal foul. As Lanzetta on center. I formation, handoff to the tailback, and it's going to be taken up the right hash. That's about a 2 or 3 yard gain. And there's flags all over the place on this play as well. And that carry was Steven Luna, and this looks like
another penalty on Holy Name, it looks like.
Yeah, another penalty on Holy Name. So they're just shooting themselves.
Exactly, I was just going to say the same thing here. And giving Milford some free field here. Looks like a 15-yard penalty followed by another 10-yard penalty.
This one pushed up to the 18-yard line. And it is another personal foul. So another first down for Milford. 2 straight penalties costing Holy Name 30 yards. Another run up the middle for the Scarlet Hawks. On the carry this time, it's Steven Luna, and he picks up some significant yardage there as he gets to around the 10.
Was that looked like a wildcat there? I don't think Lanzetta was even on the field there.
So 8-yard pickup for Luna.
7-yard gain on the play. Second down.
Milford certainly want to try some different formations as Lanzetta lines up on center, hands it off, and the play is blown dead. And
Holy Name's, yeah. Take a timeout.
It's going to be a timeout. Holy Name just before the snap. A little less than a minute to go.
Calm us down.
And I'm sure those penalties in the minds of Holy Name as they're letting Milford get back into this game. They could close it out early here. The 30 yards of penalties have moved Milford into the red zone.
And also Milford's own offensive production here. Milford, this is probably one of the fastest drives I've seen Milford do all year here. Of course, with the penalties have helped here, but you're going to have to slow this down and take a timeout for Holy Name.
Scarlet Hawks lined up in I formation. Receivers spread out to the left. As Lanzetta calls it out and awaits the snap. He'll take the snap, and it's a pitch back to the up back, going to be taken up the right side by Luna. And Luna will get to around the 10-yard line before he's brought down. There was a flag in the backfield.
Looks like it's on Holy Name again, I see.
And I think they let the play go, so I think it's probably a false start against Holy Name.
Yep, and the refs are going to keep walking Holy Name back. 35 yards of penalties only in one drive for Holy Name. Holy Name starting off strong on offense, but having their troubles on defense here may give Milford a chance here to climb back in this quickly. So
the Scarlet Hawks now with the ball at the 6-yard line. As the clock continues to run, Milford will have one last play in the first quarter, down 16-0, but they are driving downfield, and 35 straight yards of penalty have cost Holy Name as Lanzetta lines up in the I, the receiver to the left side, and he's going to roll out, throw to the left side. It's tipped in the air, and it's intercepted. And Holy Name will have it. So an interception. It was tipped a couple times in the air, and a drive that was going Milford's way. 35 yards of penalties against Holy Name, which got Milford all the way down to the 6-yard line. And the Naps get the ball right back on a tipped pass for the interception. And that is certainly a rough one for the Scarlet Hawks.
I kind of, excuse me, I kind of predicted Milford to pass here because, you know, when the quarter ends there, you're going to have to walk all the way down the other end of the field here, try to get a quick score here for Holy Name, for Milford. And
I think you keep running it. You're at the 6-yard line. You're having success with the run. Why risk it by passing it? They tried it, and it backfired as this will be a run up the middle, good for about a yard for Barbosa. And that should do it for the first quarter of play as the clock will wind down, and Milford will be down 16-0 heading into the second quarter. So a rough start for the Scarlet Hawks. They did establish some momentum on that last drive, but it was taken away with an interception after a tip pass by Lanzetta. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Scarlet Hawks football on WMRC First Class Radio, streaming online at WMRCDailyNews.com. Welcome back to Milford High School. We are set for the second quarter of play as Holy Name working on their fourth offensive drive of the game after an interception, which cost the Scarlet Hawks. Scarlet Hawks had the ball at the 6-yard line. They were about to get on the board. A couple running plays might have did the trick, but they went to pass. Jared, do you think they should have stayed with the run there?
Well, you know, I think it was a gutsy call for Milford to do. I mean, I saw Zach Lanzetta was great on the play action fake, and he's, you know, that's been his bread and butter this whole year. And, you know, I just don't know if he got enough on that or what. That, you know, you also have the wind and the cold. I don't know if it got out of his hand.
So the Naps with the ball at the 9-yard line, working left to right across your radio. Dubois on center, an empty backfield motion from right to left, and it is going to be a run up the left side. That's good for a yard or two. And let's not forget the Milford defense. They've been pretty good against the run all season long, so the defense could keep them in this game.
Well, the defense can, and as well, the bad points for Milford is they have a hard time stopping the no huddle here, but of course that's only really for passing teams here. So Milford's got a good chance here to keep this one in here on their good defense.
And 5.
3rd and 5 for Holy Name as they line it up. Dubois on center. They go flexbone back formation with 2 receivers spread out to the left, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and it's going to be taken to around the 17-yard line on the carry. It's Jose Barbosa, and that will move the chains for the Naps. Put a 4-yard pickup on that last run. So Holy Name, we saw them waste a lot of clock in that first quarter, and if you're Milford, you want to get back in this game, you really have to stop the Holy Name soon, because all they do is run the ball, and they'll just continue to waste clock. Dubois on center, motion from right to left. It's going to be a handoff taken up the left side, and it's Jeff Holland on the carry, and he's going to get a yard or two. Milford defense standing strong as Holy Name slowly but surely, however, is still managing to get up the field.
And Holy Name has had the ball for roughly about over 8 minutes in this game. Of course, we're only in the second quarter with 9 minutes to go, so about 8 minutes of possession time. Playing keep away very well.
Dubois lined up on center, and they're going to go 2 receivers lined up to the right side. Motion once again from right to left, and it is going to be taken up the middle, and this is going to be another small gain for the Holy Name Naps. Mike Casey on the tackle. Holland is on that carry.
2-yard gain on the play.
Another 2-yard gain, and you see Holy Name, they'll go with these small run plays, but they'll just get enough to get that first down. It seems like every first down possible you can get to get up the field, they're going to get it, and they're going to keep burning clock.
Well, they're almost averaging about 3 yards a run here.
Motion from left to right. Dubois rolls out to his right. He's going to throw downfield this time, and he has a receiver, and making the reception, it is Joe Keiko once again, and that will be good for a first down for the Holy Name Naps. And that is a big reception. It will be marked at the 45-yard line. We saw Keiko earlier with that 10-yard touchdown reception. Chains moved once again, a 32-yard reception from Dubois to Keiko. And Holy Name's offense certainly giving this Milford defense a tough time. Dubois on center, motion left to right, and it will be a handoff taken up the middle. This is going to be good for about a 3-yard gain. Carry was Holland, the senior We've seen quite a bit of Holland in this game. A 3-yard gain on the carry.
Second down, 7.
Holland so far in this game has 25 yards rushing. That is on 8 attempts.
That's got to be tough for a defense to play when your opponent runs the ball possibly about 90% of every play there, and then they sneak a pass in there.
It's worked well. It's worked twice so far for Holy Name.
Timeout,
Holy Name typically a run team, but they'll throw the pass in there here and there, and it seems
it's a huge shock to any defense. It is to Milford.
Well, and one thing I've noticed defensively, Milford loads that box, intent on stopping the run, but they don't even think about the pass. Keiko has been wide open twice this game, and it's cost Milford dearly.
Yeah, you know, as a good offense there, I mean, that's a good psychological game plan there. Keep their opposition's defense, keep them creeping up, and just float it right over. And, you know, that was a great example of that, what Holy Name executed. And if they were much more of a passing team there, I couldn't see Milford giving up more than about 10 yards in that play, but it's a huge shock.
And we're seeing man-to-man coverage by the Milford Scarlet Hawks, and that could be another thing too. Joe Keiko, a senior, standing at 6'1", 200 pounds, extremely fast. He's a guy that can burn you downfield.
Yeah, and he would have if he didn't get that last tackle in there as well. So Milford's defense is keeping this game semi-close.
And this time it looks like they're going to load that box once again. They'll have 8 in there this time. As Dubois takes the snap, and he'll hand it off to Holland, the motion man, and Holland will take it to around the 40 before he's brought down.
Jeff Holland.
That's going to be a gain of around 2 or 3. So small yardage pickups for Holy Name, doing everything they want to do, burning the clock, getting the yardage needed for the first down, and holding on to the football, not even giving this Milford offense a chance so far in this first half.
They already have 8 points on turnovers by Milford and looking to add on to that more. So, you know, as many penalties as they've gotten, their defense has come through.
Dubois on center, 2 receivers spread out to the right, man in motion from right to left, and this is going to be a handoff taken up the middle, and that is going to be good for another Holy Name first down. Barbosa again coming through and moving it down to the 32-yard line.
First down and 10 Naps at the Milford 31.
So the clock continuing to tick, and Holy Name continuing to move the football, Jared.
Yeah, and you know, if it gotta stick with what works, and it's working right now for Holy Name.
Dubois on center, motion from right to left, and it is going to be a handoff up the middle, and that is going to be a significant pickup for a first down, and more eluding a couple tacklers. Holland again on the carry as he will move it up
Ball force loose by number 36.
to about the 17-yard line, a 14-yard pickup for Holland.
And that was fumbled too on that play. It looked like it was fumbled and recovered by Holland as well. Milford had a chance at that one.
It's true. It was recovered rather quickly by Holland, and I think it took a friendly bounce right back into his hands as Dubois takes the snap and he'll pitch it, and it'll be a run up the middle by Barbosa, who just powers through defenders, and you actually saw him on that play jump a defender. Some great athleticism by Jose Barbosa, the 5'10" junior.
Yeah, he's looking to be, playing for player of the game. Good candidate so far.
Another 5-yard pickup. He's had a lot of carry attempts so far in this game. Already 11 carries for Barbosa. As my stat sheet starts to fill up, Jared. Dubois lines up on center. 2 receivers spread out to the right side. And it is going to be a handoff to the left back coming out of the flex bone. A flag on the play. And Barbosa brought down for either a small loss or a short gain.
Even the refs are having a hard time throwing the flags in there as well, getting away from them, hitting them. Hit a couple players' helmets in there. They're having a God. This wind is still gusting pretty well as the flag's blowing, you know, straight across here.
About a 16-mile-an-hour wind coming into the game.
I'm freezing standing in the announcer's booth here. I could imagine what those two teams are going through and everybody out in the stands. Good turnout here today, too, at Milford High Field.
It always is a great tradition here at Milford High School, the annual Thanksgiving game. And Holy Name's going to be pushed back. So this is going to be an offensive penalty, and I think
Low hit.
it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so it's pushed back to the 27-yard line, a 15-yard loss for the Naps.
Second down for Holy Name.
As Dubois lines up on center. Bone formation once again. Two receivers spread out to the right. Dubois rolls out, throws it to the right side, and it is hauled in. A touchdown. And with two defenders in his way, Joe Keiko hauls it in for his second touchdown reception. And it is 22-0.
That was a pass for anybody there, and Keiko just stuck right with it.
Keiko, he's 6'1", so had some significant size over the defenders, used it to his advantage, and was able to jump up and make that catch with a defender on either side. And now they will go for two. It'll be a handoff taken up the middle. Did they get in? And no, they did not. Denied the two-point conversion. However, it is 22-0, Holy Name on top. Welcome back to Milford High School, WMRC First Class Radio, streaming online at WMRCDailyNews.com. It's 22-0. Holy Name all over the Milford Scarlet Hawks. They'll kick off left to right across your radio, and another roller of a kick that rolls back just past the 20, and Jack DeSantis will return it up the right side. Holy Name choosing to go with the squib kicks really all game long. And the last play for the Naps, a 27-yard touchdown reception from the hands of Trent Dubois to Joe Keiko.
And that, I want to point out, too, was a 94-yard drive put together by Holy Name, and it took 7 minutes off the clock.
They're just continuing to eat up clock. Milford has to get something going offensively. Lanzetta lined up on center, I formation, a run up the middle to around the 40-yard line. On the carry, it's Jonathan Rodriguez. That is around a 5-yard pickup for the Scarlet Hawks. 7 yards rushing on 2 attempts for Rodriguez. And you're starting to see the junior more and more in this game as the Scarlet Hawks line it up again in the I formation. Receiver spread out to the right side. Rodriguez again, this time brought down in the backfield. And that is going to be about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
14 points off turnover so far. Holy Name has scored via the fumble and interception by Milford.
This Holy Name defense has been on the field how long? They have to be revved up and ready to go.
I mean, I was thinking only about 5 minutes Holy Name's been on the field.
So the Scarlet Hawks will take a time. Also break down what an incredible season it has been here on WMRC. A brand new playoff system this year, and unfortunately none of the local teams that we cover made the bowl games. We're quite disappointed about that, but there are a lot of great teams that we were able to cover this year that had terrific seasons.
Yeah, I said that playoff game in Hopkinton was probably one of the best games I have announced to, but every game has had some sort of meaning to me as an announcer here, and I've seen some great athletes play here. And, got a great chance to broadcast them on WMRC.
As Lanzetta and the offense back to the line, off the timeout, a one-back set receiver spread out to either side. Lanzetta takes the snap, and he will throw to the right side, and the pass is just short. And his intended target, Pete Schuler, who he's been going to on all 3 pass attempts in this game. That'll bring down 4th down and 6 for the Milford Scarlet Hawks, and they will punt it away. And the snap is high and the punt is short. and not able to really get a hold of it was David Abrego, a very short punt, and it looked like it might have been tipped, but after the high snap, Abrego not really to get a hold of the football, and it looks like he just got a piece of the football with the side of his foot.
Yeah, that looked like about a 12-yard punt. So it's not even.
It's marked at the 43-yard line, and that's where Holy Name will have the football, so the defense has to come up big here. Plenty of time on the clock in the first half, 3:15 on the clock for Holy Name as Dubois lines up on center. Two receivers spread out to the left now, motion from left to right, coming out of the flex bone. It's a handoff, taken up the right side, a first down and more, pushing his way forward, continuing to work his way through the defenders. It's Barbosa before he's finally brought down inside the 20. And that is a big run by Barbosa, who has powered his way through this defense all game long, a 24-yard pickup.
And Holy Name's in perfect position here. Got about just a little under 3 minutes here to possibly make this a 30-0 lead going into halftime. Milford's going to have to try to keep this one close here.
As Dubois lines up on center, receiver spread out to the left side. Once again, working with the backs in that slot. And you see Holy Name going with the slot back formations a lot in this game. And they'll line up, sometimes they'll have someone in the backfield and they'll go complete flex bone, but other times they'll just have the slot backs on either side. They've been doing that all game long. And it's been paying off.
1st and 15 at the 23-yard line.
There was a flag on that play that pushed Holy Name back, a false start as Dubois on center, motion from left to right, and it's going to be a handoff taken up the middle, working his way forward, and he finds a gap and works his way to around the 10. It's Jeff Holland, but there is a late flag on this play, and this could be a personal foul. Usually when a flag comes out late, it's because of a late hit or a personal foul. We'll see what happens here. This would be a 7-yard pickup pending the penalty, and it's going against Holy Name. Another penalty against the Naps. Fortunately for Holy Name, it hasn't really cost them, but they've been penalized a lot in this game.
Looks like that could have been a late hit on Milford and maybe a retaliation by Holy Name there. Looks like they're throwing their hands up in the air. Looks like they may have gotten caught for retaliation.
They're pushing Holy Name back, so they're saying the Naps are at fault.
Could have been a late hit by Milford, though, as well.
And it will be
nonetheless, it just keeps hurting Holy Name here. Of course, they've been able to pay off, though, with the penalties.
Right, a 15-yard penalty, personal foul against the Naps. Ball pushed back to the 26-yard line. As now ref looking over at the Milford sideline. This may be some kind of warning here, and the Holy Name coach is out on the field.
Yeah,
sure, not liking all the penalty calls.
Yeah, trying to keep this one civil here. This is a Thanksgiving game, not a playoff game. Don't want to go home hurting after this one.
And now it looks like a timeout will be taken as the Holy Name coach back out on the field. So a timeout in the action. We'll keep things right here. And Jared, this has been a rough game for the Milford Scarlet Hawks. What do you think they need to do to get back into this?
Well, you know, some of these penalties are going to be a big help for Milford as well here. You know, if they can kind of keep this one as it is at 22-0 down, they're going to get the ball back to start the third quarter here, try to get something moving. They did on their a couple drives ago, but it did stall on an interception there. But this is going to be huge here.
It certainly is. And despite all the penalties, Holy Name having success. On this play, it's going to be a pitch to the up back end. He will take it into the end zone.
Number 12, Joe Keiko into the end zone for the touchdown.
It's none other than Joe Keiko. And that will be the 4th touchdown of the game, of the half, for Holy Name as they are up 28-0. Joe Keiko rushes into the end zone. They go with the one-back set. Pitch back to Keiko, and he just speeds his way through that defensive line. And Jared, it just doesn't seem like anyone can bring down Joe Keiko.
No, this is his third touchdown of the game. First rushing, 2 receiving. And he and Barbosa are pretty much been the workhorses. As long as, and Dubois, as an honorable mention there, he's done what he's needed to do.
Holy Name will go for 2 once again, and kicking not an option for the Naps. And the win's a factor, but also the fact that most high school teams don't really have an established field goal kicker.
No, it's usually, somebody on defense or, somebody who carries 2 jobs. No glorified kicking game.
But Holy Name, so far in this game,
does look like they're going to bring the field goal unit out.
So they will try a kick here. Holy Name 2 for 3 on the 2-point conversion.
I kind of wonder if tempers have been flaring here, too, because of the 2-point conversions as well.
Kyle Johnson kicks it through. Why didn't they just do that all game?
That could have been something, too, that has been added to the tension as well, going for 2 every touchdown, especially on turnovers.
Welcome back to Milford High School. Holy Name set to kick off left to right across your radio. Another squib kick, and it will bounce to around the 25-yard line, be returned up the field by David Abrego, and the Scarlet Hawks will start at around the 35-yard line as they are desperate for a successful drive. Unfortunately, they only have 1 minute, 14 seconds left in this half.
And it's up in the air here too. Either you take a couple shots down the field here, or you just kind of wind this half down and go in 29-0 to half.
We'll line up in the I, receiver spread out to the right. It's going to be a handoff to the tailback, and taking it up the middle, it's Jonathan Rodriguez, and it seems like Rodriguez has been the only positive factor of this offense. He's really been the only guy to really pick up significant positive yardage for the Scarlet Hawks, besides that 15-yard reception to Pete Schuler early on. So a 4-yard pickup there as Lanzetta lines up on center once again in the I, and it's going to be a handoff to the up back, and this time breaking through for a first down, getting to around the 49-yard line.
Stephen Luna, the ball carrier.
It is Stephen Luna on that carry.
First and 10 from the 49.
And now they're going hurry up here. Another handoff taken up the middle, good for about a yard with forward progress. Stephen Luna once again on that carry. Milford in the hurry up here, trying to get some points on the board. 28.5 seconds left to go.
Timeout, Milford.
And Scarlet Hawks going to take a timeout here.
I was just going to say they're going to play as much time as they can, as why they have the ball. Possession here comes at a minimum here for Milford.
Do you think they need to go back to the pass? I think they're going to need to pass it at some point in this game.
Yeah, they're going to need to get Pete Schuler involved. He's been pretty much one of their go-to guys in the receiving game. And try to mix it up with some more plays here. I mean, you're down 29-0. You're going to have another half to play here. It may take you another half to get out of this big hole that they've already dug for themselves with turnovers and bad punts on special teams.
Lanzetta lines up on center, 1 man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the right side, takes a snap, and he will go back to throw and be brought down in the backfield. 2 defenders rushing through, and on the sack it was Foodie Chroma for the Naps.
And that's probably going to be the end of this half.
And yeah, at that point, you get the sack, you just let the half end. You certainly don't want anything negative to happen that could lead to another turnover costing you points. Well, at the half, it is Holy Name 29, the Milford Scarlet Hawks 0. They have their work cut out for them, but still a whole nother half of football to go.
In the second half of play.
Welcome back to Milford High School. The Holy Name Naps set to kick off the second half, left to right across your radio. You're listening to high school football on WMRC First Class Radio on a 30-degree sunny Thanksgiving day. And it's going to be another squib kick, which is going to take a bounce to the around the 15-yard line and be bobbled, but picked up and brought to around the 20. And on the return, it was Blake Hill, the freshman. So some of the freshmen getting in there, and I think you'll see a good amount of change-ups for Milford here. I think you'll see a good amount of different players in this game, as it is the Thanksgiving game, last game of the season, usually a good opportunity to get some of the younger guys in there.
Yeah, and we have a full contribution here for both sides as well.
As Lanzetta lines up on center, I formation, receiver spread out to the right side. He'll take the snap, hand off to the tailback, and it's going to be taken up the middle. A nice gain for the Scarlet Hawks of around 5 yards or so. Jonathan Rodriguez on the carry, and Rodriguez has had the majority of success rushing the ball. And it's 2nd and 5 for Milford as they try to get something going offensively. Lanzetta on center once again, I formation, receiver spread out to the right, and it's a pitch back to the up back and a run to the near side, and it's Rodriguez, and this time brought down for a short loss for the Scarlet Hawks. And if you're Milford, Rodriguez having the most success, I think, running the ball. I think you got to stick with Rodriguez.
Yeah, you do, but, you know, also going to have to mix up some passing plays, too. You're going to have to pass here and try to string together some first downs. You know, you had a good one good drive that you established that ended off in an interception.
Lanzetta on center, one man in, lined up in the I formation. Once again, receiver spread out to the right side. Lanzetta will take it himself, and he's in trouble and brought down in the backfield as the defensive line for the Holy Name Naps comes bursting through, and it will bring up 4th down for the Milford Scarlet Hawks deep into their own territory at around the 15-yard line, and they'll punt it away back to Holy Name after a 6-yard loss. So the snap and the punt, and it's a high sailing punt to the 40-yard line, and will take a bounce out of bounds. And the Naps will start off in Milford territory at the 42. So Holy Name starting off once again with good field position, and the last couple drives they've had short field to work with.
Yeah, and, you know, the teams that, you know, Milford had played against, you know, they were really pass-oriented in the first half and really just sat back on cruise control with the run. But this is a different case here where Holy Name is just run, and Milford's been running after them this whole game.
As Dubois lines up on center, they're going to go 2 receivers lined up to the left side. Man in motion from left to right, hand off to the motion man. Taken up the center, and it's going to be around a 6-yard pickup as getting to the 35, it's Maxwell Sarasoli.
During the halftime, I was able to walk the crowds here. It is actually getting a little bit warmer, about a degree or two warmer, but it's still freezing out there.
It certainly is. Yeah. And the wind is not helping either.
No, it is not.
But fortunately, we are inside a booth
that is still freezing.
Dubois on center, one man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the left, and a pitch back to Kyle Johnston, and he will drop it and be brought down in the backfield for a loss after he's able to pick it up. And it is going to be marked at the 38-yard line for Holy Name, so a 4-yard loss for the Naps. And you see Holy Name starting to diversify a little bit and throw in a couple different running backs. As quarterback on center, man in motion from right to left, and it's a handoff to the fullback, and he gets through for maybe a yard. A nice stand by the defensive line. James Granger on the carry. So 7:19 and ticking in this 3rd quarter, and that does bring up 4th down for Holy Name, but they are out there as if they are going to go for this. They are in Milford territory at the 38. You're up 29-0. Not too much to lose if you're Holy Name.
And also factoring Milford has struggling moving the ball again.
Dubois on center, slot man in motion from left to right, a handoff to the man in motion, and it's a sweep up the near side, taken to around the 31. And we'll see where they mark this. It's very close, actually, to a 1st down, but it looks short.
Yeah,
so they are going they're going to mark it at the 33, or inside the 32 and the 33. So a break for Milford, and it's a 5-yard pickup on the carry. But it is a turnover on downs, as that was 4th down, so a nice break for the Scarlet Hawks. They get the ball back. Lanzetta on center, one man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the right. Lanzetta takes a snap, looking to pass, tries for the screen, and it is incomplete.
Pass by Zach Lanzetta falls incomplete. Intended number 10, Eric Nunez.
Eric Nunez on the reception, and actually, since that was a screen, it did take a bounce on the ground, but it was caught by Nunez. He was brought down in the backfield, and that's a loss of a yard. And it was a backwards pass, so it is certainly valid to stay in play. As Lanzetta on center, one man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the left, a handoff taken up the middle, and that's good for 3 yards. On the carry, it's Jonathan Rodriguez.
Jonathan Rodriguez, the ball carrier.
And if you're the Scarlet Hawks, I mean, just getting on the board would mean so much in this game. You got shut out last Thanksgiving to Shrewsbury in that 24-0 loss. You'd like to end that streak very fast.
Yeah, this is they're starving right now on Thanksgiving for a touchdown. You know, this is 6 straight quarters being shut out. Shrewsbury and Holy Name combined.
Lanzetta on center, one man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the left side with a man in the slot. Lanzetta takes a snap, and he's in trouble, and he did not even see the defender coming from his blind side, and he's brought down at around the 29-yard line, and that is going to be a loss of yardage and a 4th down for the Scarlet Hawks, but a loss of 6 or 7 there as the clock continues to tick down, and the Scarlet Hawks will punt it away for the 3rd time today.
Loss of 7 yards on the sack.
So the snap and the punt, and it is a high sailing punt, and a nice punt that'll bounce out of bounds at the Holy Name 42-yard line or so, and that's where the Naps will get the ball with 4:40 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
1st and 10, Holy Name at their own 43.
So they mark it at the 43-yard line for Holy Name. And Jared, at the half, we talked about total offense in this game, and at the half, 265 yards of total offense for Holy Name, 51 yards for the Milford Scarlet Hawks. It's been a rough day.
Yeah, it pretty much says it all down the board, lopsided. You know, also 2 turnovers from Milford.
Dubois on center, receiver spread out to the right, and it's a handoff to the up back, taken past the 50 to around the 47, and that is going to be very close to the 1st down.
Kyle Johnston, the ball carrier.
Johnson on the carry.
This carry is good for Holy Name 1st down.
And just good for the 1st down. It is Johnston.
1st and 10, Holy Name at the
Keeping the chains moving, and if you're Holy Name, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, nothing else you can do but run or pass. There's no other 3rd option here.
Dubois lined up on center, one man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the right side. Slot man in motion, a handoff to the fullback, and he'll bounce off a tackle and take it up for maybe a yard. And on the carry, that time it was James Granger. So about a yard pickup for Granger as the senior 185-pound fullback was fortunate to gain yardage there as the defensive line got through. Nice job by Granger bursting through the tackle, able to pick up at least a yard on that play as Dubois lines up on center. And tailback directly behind him this time. Slot man in motion. It's a handoff to the slot man. He'll sweep to the right side, take it to around the 40-yard line. And that is going to be a pickup of around 4 for Maxwell Sarasoli.
And Holy Name does, you know, now that I think of it, you know, Holy Name does have a great running game too. And, you know, you don't see any, you know, Trent Dubois taking off on and running the ball. You know, they have a really good, strong running core.
11 running backs on the roster. They've utilized 6 of them so far this morning. Dubois on center, man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the left with a man in the slot, a man in motion from right to left, and it's a handoff to the motion man. He's brought down for a loss. As Kyle Johnston looking to get upfield, brought down for a loss. That brings up 4th down, and here comes the Milford defense making another stand. And the defense, one of the very encouraging signs of this Milford team, and it's been for the past couple years. They just have not been able to complement that defense with the offense.
Well, exactly, too. And, you know, it's the offensive woes that have been putting so much pressure on the defense here, where you're, they're giving up these interceptions and fumbles here, too, keeping the defense out on the field longer than it has to be.
So Holy Name will line it up at the 42-yard line, and they're looking as if they're going to go for it here. As on center, handoff to the motion man left to right, another turnover on downs, and the Scarlet Hawks defense makes another stand, gets the Milford offense back the ball, and perhaps they have a chance to get something going. 1:44 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Milford just looking to get on the board at this point. So the Scarlet Hawks get the ball back. They'll have it at the 41-yard line as Lanzetta will line up on center. I formation, a receiver spread out to the left. Now a man in the slot to the left. As Lanzetta takes the snap, he looks to the left side and he tries to find Schuler, but it's in and out of his hands on the screen. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Pete Schuler, the highlight play for the Scarlet Hawks in this game, a 15-yard reception early on. If you're Milford, I mean, just keep trying different things. This year is all about development, all about developing these young players. You have a sophomore quarterback who's going to be with you a couple years going right now, and you can really develop Lanzetta. And this time, a run up the middle for the Scarlet Hawks. Jonathan Rodriguez picking up some nice yardage there. And they will mark this at the 48, a 7-yard gain for Rodriguez.
And Lanzetta does have an interception to his credit, but, can't really on the tip pass there.
As Lanzetta will hand it off again. It's Rodriguez bursting through the line. Good for a 1st down and more as he'll get to around the 36.
And that play is good for the Scarlet Hawks.
Rodriguez getting the job done. And they'll mark it at the 38-yard line. And another handoff to Rodriguez. Why not? It continues to work, and this time he'll pick up 3 or 4. And they'll mark it at the 35, 2-yard pickup for Rodriguez.
2-yard gain on play. 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8 to go for Milford. 30 seconds left and counting in the 3rd quarter. Lanzetta on center, one man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the left side with a slot back to the left as well. An attempted screen by Lanzetta as he's brought down in the backfield in the direction of Steven Luna, and it's incomplete. A flag in the backfield, and this is going against Holy Name. That's going to be roughing the passer.
Yeah, I was just going to say that too.
He did throw the ball before the tackle, and high schools like the NFL, they'll be sensitive towards the quarterback.
Well, yeah, too, and it looked like the fact that Lanzetta was really drove into the ground there too played a big factor in that roughing the passer call.
Right. He certainly was driven into the ground, so another penalty for Holy Name, giving this Milford offense some momentum. They'll push ahead 15 yards for the 1st down. And the ball marked at the 20-yard line.
1st and 10, Milford.
So here come the Scarlet Hawks trying to get on the board for the first time this morning. Lanzetta on center, 1 man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the left side. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Rodriguez finds his way through, but he's tripped up. It looks like he might have tripped over his own feet, but he gets past the 15-yard line and picks up some nice yardage. As the 3rd quarter expires, we'll see where they mark this, and they are going to mark this at the 13-yard line. End of the 3rd quarter, we'll take a timeout. You're listening to high school football on WMRC First Class Radio, the Thanksgiving rivalry between Milford and Holy Name. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Milford High School as we are set for the final 11 minutes of play. We enter into the 4th quarter, and the Scarlet Hawks, they have something going offensively, driving downfield, and now they will work left to right across your radio. Tom Nappy, Jared Aldi, wishing each and every one of you a very happy Thanksgiving, and we thank you for tuning in to this Thanksgiving rivalry game between the Milford Scarlet Hawks and the Holy Name Naps. As Lanzetta lines up on center, one man in the backfield, two receivers spread out to the left side. It's going to be a handoff to Chikalos, taken up the left hash, and that is going to be a pickup of around 4 or 5. And let's see where they mark this here, and looks like they're going to give Chikalos the first down, so he did get past the 10-yard line. They mark it at the 9-yard line. So Scarlet Hawks continuing to drive downfield.
And that play was good for the Scarlet Hawks.
A 4-yard pickup, they give Chikalos on that play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct is called a holy name.
And a penalty on Holy Name, so that's why Milford got the first down. A late flag on sportsmanlike conduct. So Milford now at the 5. Handoff taken up the middle, and that's good for about 2 yards. And we have an injured player down on the field, and it looks like he's back up and walking around just a little bit shooken up, but he seems to be okay. Looks like Leo Vargas out there was a bit shooken up, but he is back up and still in the game. I formation, Lanzetta on quarterback, on center, excuse me, and it will be a handoff taken up the middle, and that will be a touchdown. So the Scarlet Hawks find their way into the end zone. And finally on the board, 29-6. And that's some great momentum for the Milford Scarlet Hawks. And on the touchdown run, it was Cole McNana, the captain. And he was actually the shooken up player out there as well. So even though he was shooken up, he's able to find his way into the end zone. And that is a 3-yard touchdown run for Cole McNana. A nice job fighting his way through that injury. And it looked like some type of leg injury, but obviously not too serious if he was able to stay out there and get the touchdown. Now the 2-point conversion attempt, a handoff taken up the middle, and it's good as George Chikalos gets into the end zone, and it's 29-8, 10:07 left to go. Could a miracle take place at Milford High School today? Find out after these messages on WMRC First Class Radio Sports. Done as a 3-yard touchdown run for Cole McNana puts the Scarlet Hawks on the board, and they'll kick off left to right across your radio. A high end over end kick, which will take a couple hops past the 20 and will be picked up after it stops on the roll by Kyle Johnston at the 17, and he's forced to just down it. So a nice punt by the Scarlet Hawks. And if the Milford defense can come up big here and stop Holy Name right away, get the ball back, perhaps you can get another score on the board and give yourself some more momentum.
I admire your enthusiasm, Tom.
I'm very enthusiastic.
Yeah. It could happen. You know, these games late in this season, you know, I've been surprised not to write some of these teams off too early.
Well, if you listen to the Hopkinton-Milton game we had, anything's possible. As Dubois lines up on center, a slot back to either side, a motion man moving left to right with a receiver spread out to the left. It's going to be a run up the middle, and that's going to be good for about a 7-yard gain on the carry. It was Kyle Johnston. Second and 4 to go. They credit him with 6 yards on that play. 9:12 left to go, and the defense going to have to come up huge very fast. Dubois on center, motion from left to right, and it's a taken up the middle, and that's going to be awfully close to the first down. It looks like he got it. That should move the chains for Holy Name.
Basketball, Sarasoli, the ball carrier, Holy Name.
Saraselli, the ball carrier on that play. The freshman getting into the game, the 5'9" freshman for Holy Name, a 4-yard pickup. for Sarasoli, who has 15 yards rushing so far today. As Dubois and the Naps offense head back to the line. Dubois on center. Two receivers spread out to the right, a slot back to the left. Motion from right to left, and it's going to be a handoff to the slot back, and he finds an opening, and he takes it past the 35-yard line. Sarasoli again on the carry. We'll see where they put this one, and it is at the 36, five-yard pickup on the play, and Sarasoli, the freshman, continuing to pick up the chunks of yardage that Holy Name needs to keep that clock running, Jared.
Yeah, you know, they really are mixing it up with a run game, too. Jose Barbosa's kind of quieted down this game.
Motion from right to left, slot back to either side. Dubois takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to the right back, and it's going to be taken to around the 40-yard line. And that is a 4-yard pickup for the Naps. Sarasoli again on the carry, and he just keeps picking up those chunks of yards. And Sarasoli certainly a promising player for Holy Name. He's only a freshman. He's on the roster, the only one of 4 freshmen on the Holy Name roster. And he should have a bright future here for the Naps.
And Holy Name's looking to put together another 7-minute drive that they did back in the second quarter there, and pretty much keep away.
7:40 left to go, and that's certainly the goal. Dubois on center, slot back to either side. Two receivers spread out to the left with a man in the slot handoff, and it's going to be taken up the right side, but he is going to be brought down for a loss this time. Sarasoli once again, the defensive line was expecting it. Sarasoli started working his way forward, tried to elude a tackler, worked his way a little bit backward, and was brought down for a loss.
And you got a 4th and 2 coming up here from Milford.
So the result, loss of 1.
No gain on the play.
And it looks like Holy Name going to go for it here.
Yeah, this is confidence right now in their offense here. And, you know, this could, you know, get some tensions flaring up.
And,
not, you know, kind of unsportsmanlike here.
And they are going for it, a run up the middle as they try to put the Scarlet Hawks away. And this is close.
I think he's going to be just shy. Looking at the spot from the line judge, they're going to obviously have to measure this one.
Yeah,
maybe by a link or two.
From here, it looks shy. They're going to bring out the chains. And if you're Milford, you get the ball back this deep in a Holy Name territory, you can put up another score.
Turnover on downs.
Oh,
no.
And it is good for a first down, so they did get it. Just barely.
Surprised they didn't measure there to make sure, though.
Well, obviously our view, not as good as the officials.
Obscured, yes.
Dubois on center, motion from left to right. It's going to be a handoff, a pitch back to the motion man who fumbles it but picks it back up. Brought down in the backfield for a loss. Nice stand by the defense.
That's a 3rd Holy Name fumble, but unfortunately for Holy Name, they've been able to recover their fumbles too.
They have.
Right time, you know, right place at the right time there.
There's a few of them that could have been really costly.
And it looks like there's a...
So second and
a lot of waving
11
going
or so. And I think it's...
I don't know if they're just exercising to stay warm. I don't know what's going on.
Stoppage in play, something relating
time clock?
maybe to the time on the clock. So I think they're trying to adjust the clock here. That's why the waving going on by the official. I think what he's saying is put some more time on the clock. 6:10, so they're going to put 15 seconds back on the clock. So clock adjustment. Official adds 15 seconds back onto the clock. 6:10 left to go in the game. 29-8. Holy Name on top of the Milford Scarlet Hawks. You're listening to Thanksgiving football on WMRC First Class Radio. Tom Nappy, Jared Aldi on the call as Dubois is set to line it up. And he will line up on center. Again, going with the slot back to either side. 2 receivers lined up to the left. And a man in motion, left slot back in motion will take the snap. And he's going to take it up the right side, breaking free at the 40, the 35, the 30, inside the 20, and taken out of bounds. A huge gain for Maxwell Sarasoli. And a big gain for Holy Name, and this could do it. As they'll mark it at the 20-yard line. 27-yard gain there by Sarasoli.
37-yard gain on the previous play.
So here come the Naps back to the line. Dubois on center. Two receivers line up to the left, man in the slot to the right. And he will hand it off to the slot back in motion. Good for about a yard on the pickup. And 2nd and 9 now for the Naps.
Number 10, Eric Nunez in on the tackle with the Scarlet Hawks. 1 yard gain on the play. 2nd down, 9.
Naps certainly taking the wind out of the sails on that big run, Jared.
Yeah, you know, they had a chance there, you know, on that 4th and 2 to try to get something going, but, you know, Holy Name has just been dominant and is still remaining dominant on the run game here.
Dubois on center. Receiver spread out to the left side. And Holy Name is going to take a timeout with 5:16 left to go in this game. 29-8 the score. We'll keep things right here and remind you this Saturday, WMRC, tune in to the Sports Buzz, 10 a.m. Matt Romlin, Craig D'Alessandro will recap all the professional sports action going on, and of course all the high school action that is going on around the area. That's WMRC's The Sports Buzz this Saturday at 10 a.m. and certainly a lot of good high school football action on this Thanksgiving rivalry day going on around the area. As Dubois and the Naps offense back to the line. Dubois on center, handoff taken up the middle, and the freshman will get into the end zone. A touchdown for Sarasoli. As Maxwell Sarasoli just completely dominates that drive and bursts through the line for the touchdown. A 19-yard touchdown run for Maxwell Sarasoli. And it will make it 35-8. Holy Name on top. Nice job by Maxwell Sarasoli, really just dominating that drive, finding ways through this defensive line, and he's only a freshman. Imagine what he's going to do in a couple of years.
Yeah, and that was a little bit of a trick play run, too, because it was handed off to somebody else and shoveled off to Sarasoli, too, pushing the Milford defense off to the left-hand side of the field and leaving it wide open.
And Brandon DeSiles for the extra point, and a Milford defender got a piece of that extra point attempt, and it's no good. So the score will remain Holy Name 35, the Scarlet Hawks 8. 5:09 left to go. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Thanksgiving Football on WMRC First Class Radio, streaming online at WMRCDailyNews.com. Welcome back to Milford High School. 4th quarter of action between the Milford Scarlet Hawks and the Holy Name Naps. 35-8 the score. 5:09 left to go. The Holy Name Naps set to kick off right to left after the 5th touchdown of the game for the Holy Name Naps. A 19-yard touchdown run by freshman Maxwell Sarasoli, and the kickoff will sail back to around the 25, be taken to about the 40, around a 15-yard kickoff return for the Scarlet Hawks, and that's where they will start. They'll have their work cut out for them as they try to get back on the board, and at this point you're playing for pride, but why not try to get as many touchdowns as you can?
Yeah, and try to keep away from Holy Name here. You know, they've been just, their defense is still probably still in great, you know, condition right now, not even tired. They haven't even been out in the field for much more than half of this game.
Some score updates from around the area. Hopkinton leads Ashland 16-13 in the 3rd quarter. Norton on top of Bellingham 26-0 at the end of the 3rd quarter. We'll have more updates in just a moment as Lanzetta takes the snap on center. A run up the middle, and that will be about a 4-yard run for the Scarlet Hawks. And on the carry that time is Stephen Luna.
5-yard gain on the play, second down, 5.
Here come the Milford Scarlet Hawks trying to do some damage offensively. Lanzetta on center. An offset eye, and it'll be a handoff taken up the left side, and finding some open space is George Chikalos. He's brought down at the 48-yard line. And that will be a 7-yard pickup for Chikalos. Scarlet Hawks first down. Some more score updates from around the area. Sutton leads Blackstone Millville at the half, 22-0. King Philip all over Franklin, 27-0 in the fourth quarter. A handoff taken up the middle, finding open space again. It is Chikalos, and that is good for a Scarlet Hawks first down. This time the ball marked at the 33-yard line, a 14-yard pickup. And now a quick snap, another run up the middle. This play blown dead. I think this is going to be a false start. Some more scores from around the area. Last we checked, Westwood led Holliston 14-7 on the last update by the Metro West Daily News, who's just terrific at providing the score updates for high school football. So a big shout out to the Metro West Daily News. Marlboro led Hudson 14-6 at the half. As this is going to be a run up the middle at the 20, taken to around the 10-yard line. A big pickup for the Milford Scarlet Hawks. Another first down on a 22-yard run. And again, it is George Chikalos, the captain, providing the offense. As Lanzetta lined up on center, I formation, gives it off to Chikalos. Chikalos again with forward progress, and that was taken to around the 5 or 6. And they'll mark it at the 7, 4-yard pickup for Chikalos. And finally a back that's working for Milford. As Lanzetta on center, a man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the right. It's going to be a handoff to Chikalos. Chikalos working his way through the defensive line and into the end zone. Touchdown, a 7-yard touchdown run for George Chikalos. And how about that? Milford responds with a back of their own. You saw great success from Maxwell Sarasoli, but the Scarlet Hawks able to get back on the board with George Chikalos. Couple final scores on this Thanksgiving rivalry day. Cathedral beat Marion 40-6, and Millis Hopedale beat Medway 14-13. A great defensive battle between Millis Hopedale and Medway as Millis Hopedale gets the win over Medway 14-13. Now the attempt for 2, handoff out of the eye to Nunez, and he's brought down short of the end zone. So the score will remain 35-14, 2:58 left to go. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Milford Scarlet Hawks Thanksgiving Day Football on WMRC First Class Radio, streaming online at WMRCDailyNews.com. Welcome back to Milford High School. The Scarlet Hawks get on the board once again. A 7-yard touchdown run for George Chikalos, and they're set to kick off left to right across your radio. 2:58 left to go in the game. As kickoff by Eric Nunez sails to around the 28-yard line, and it is going to be returned to about the 44. So about a 16-yard return for the Holy Name Naps, and if you're the Naps, you can pretty much run a few drives to get a couple first downs, run out the clock, you'll be good to go. And that will be the goal here for the Naps, just try to burn the clock and not cough up the football and give Milford a long shot at getting back into this game. And it's certainly been a good year of development for Milford. And Jared, watching this team throughout the season, and forget about the record, but I've seen a lot of these young players really develop and look better than they did last year or even the start of this season. Game by game, it seems there's a lot of young players on this team developing. As Dubois lines up on center, and they're going to go flex bone formation, and Dubois tripped up, coughs up the football, and the Scarlet Hawks have it.
Holy name fumble is recovered by Milford.
So the Milford Scarlet Hawks get the football at the 40-yard line. 2:44 left to go.
Number 77, Mike Casey with the recovery.
Mike Casey with the recovery. And Dubois was just tripped up. It looked like he might have been tripped up by the center. And you see those backfield formations they line up in.
Very tight, too. You know,
Very tight formations.
Tripping over anybody's foot, leg, or anything like that. Heavy traffic.
First and 10, Milford.
Certainly is. So the Scarlet Hawks start off at the 40-yard line. 2:44 left to go. Milford down 35-14. Score a touchdown here, maybe a couple onside kicks, Jared.
Yeah, like that Indianapolis Tampa Bay game 10 years ago. 3 onside kicks and came back and won it.
Lanzetta on center, empty backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the right, throwing downfield. And he had an open receiver. It was Stephen Luna, but he overthrew him.
That's intended for Stephen Luna.
Going back to what you were talking about, development there, Tom, you know,
That brings it second down.
you got a young team in Milford, and, you know, you're going to have to start with the basics, and I think they've really established a lot of, the, you know, what you need in the basics here. Don't turn the ball over, establish a strong defense, try to get a run game. Of course, you know, you have some players not returning because it's their senior year. So, of course, you know, the development's going to trickle over into next year, but we'll see how their season goes next year.
Lanzetta lined up on center, takes a snap. It's going to be a handoff to the up back. Taken up the middle to the 35-yard line, 5-yard pickup by Jonathan Rodriguez.
5-yard gain on the play. Third down and 5 at the
Jonathan Rodriguez, he's had a nice game for Milford today. 2:15 and ticking. Scarlet Hawks will get back to the line. As Lanzetta on center. Offset eye, 2 receivers lined up to the left, takes the snap, another handoff to Rodriguez, who finds a hole, and he's going to continue trying to push through the defenders, pushing the pick pile forward, and he will be brought down at around the 25. And that is going to be a 6-yard gain for Rodriguez. Nice job, though, continuing with the play. The whistle didn't blow. And they kept moving the ball forward. Great effort there by the Scarlet Hawks. Lanzetta lined up on center. 1 man in the backfield, 2 receivers spread out to the left. Lanzetta will hand it off again. It's Rodriguez working his way up the middle, and this time we'll get to around the 35-yard line. That's a 5-yard pickup, a 4-yard pickup. Second and 6 for the Milford Scarlet Hawks. 1:11 left to go. Lanzetta on center, man in the backfield, receiver spread out to either side. A slot back to the left. Lanzetta takes a snap, looks to his right, throws to his right, and it is incomplete to Pete Schuler. Almost had him, but great coverage by Mahmoud Ennis, the senior, for Holy Name. The defensive end.
First time I've ever had a chance to see Lanzetta flex that arm of his and, you know, been able to throw a good 40-yard pass there, almost.
He has a good arm.
Yeah, good arm, yep.
And he's only a sophomore, so Milford will be able to develop him a little more next year, and he'll probably be the starter next year and senior season as well. Lanzetta on center, receiver spread out to either side. 1 man in the backfield. Lanzetta takes a snap, and he's going to throw again to the right side. Pete Schuler, and he overthrows him. That brings up 3rd down. And that's certainly one thing that Zach Lanzetta needs to develop. Trying not to overthrow his targets deep downfield.
Yeah, he did overthrow Pete Schuler there, but I did see Schuler kind of hold up there at one point, so, you know, I think it was an error on overthrow on both sides there. But hitting your target in stride is going to be a big key for Lanzetta and also John Hearns.
Lanzetta on center, 1 man in the backfield, receiver spread out to either side, slot back to the left, and a defender jump. That's going to be a false start by the defense and give Milford a 4th and 1 opportunity. 50.8 seconds left to go. Scarlet Hawks playing for pride at this point, but trying to get into the end zone. They made it a little bit competitive here in the second half.
Leash finished this game off with possessing the ball.
Lanzetta on center, one man in the backfield, receiver spread out to either side. Lanzetta takes a snap under pressure, and he's brought down. And that will be a loss of 3 or 4 for Lanzetta and the Scarlet Hawks. A turnover on downs, and Holy Name could just knee it out with 45.9 seconds left to go. But a nice little comeback there by Milford, as in the second half, they outscored Holy Name 14-6. And Jared, you'd think if they could have just had 2 halves outscoring Holy Name 14-6, they could have won this game. If they played the first half like they did this second half, the defense was terrific. They got something going offensively. If only they started out this way.
Yeah, you know, also turnovers were a big key here because, you know, Holy Name scored 14 points off of their turnovers as well. Could have been a different story.
It could have been, but it will wrap up a nice season, or a nice season of development for the Milford Scarlet Hawks, however. They might not have finished with the record that they wanted to in the first season for Joe Todd, but they certainly developed a lot of this young talent. You had to go with sophomore quarterback Zach Lanzetta, as John Hearns was inactive for this game. And Lanzetta certainly gave it a nice effort out there today, and you saw a lot of sophomores and freshmen getting playing time for the Milford Scarlet Hawks. And you saw a lot of great effort by a lot of young players who really had to take leadership of this team. And it's certainly not the easiest thing to do, but these young guys did a terrific job at taking the ball and running with it. And the Scarlet Hawks, I think they're going to get better next year. And, of course, I think 2 years from now, they'll be a pretty competitive team.
Good powerhouse team, yeah.
With all these young guys that they're able to develop. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with the post-game show. You're listening to High School Football on WMRC First Class Radio, streaming online at WMRCDailyNews.com. Stay tuned.